Hi everyone, I'm Cassandra and I'm about to go and see Jimmy the Saint and the Sinners perform at Frankie's Pizza in Sydney.
I've been told before that it's called a tokra, but I haven't been able to find any evidence of that. It's just like a big staff with a skull on the top. It was given to me by one of my closest friends. It acts simultaneously as someone for me to act out my scenarios with on stage.
Yeah. The name of the band is kind of, you know,
well,
it's quite tongue-in-cheek.
Right?
And Jim's the biggest sinner of us all, really.
I like to tell stories from the point of view of someone that I wouldn't want to know.
Right. So like a murderer maybe, or...
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see a lot of those themes. There's a lot of murder in our songs, a lot of misogyny, a lot of violence.
So you've recently released Boozehounds and Badmen on vinyl. 180 grams.
Yeah.
What does that mean? The grams thing?
So 180 grams is like it's just a thicker vinyl. Like so it weighs 180 grams.
Okay, cool.
So back in the day when they would press the vinyl, they would press the first run on 180 gram. I think like maybe the first few thousand, something like that. They'd press on 180 gram, and then after that for subsequent pressings,
for cost reasons,
you know, once it sells, for cost reason, they print it on a thinner vinyl,
140 or 160.
So if you get a vinyl and it's sort of floppy, like mildly floppy. It's not a 180 gram. 180 grams are much more solid.
So that's like the best kind of quality.
Yeah, it just gives you a higher fidelity. A lot of people will say that it's because the grooves are cut deeper, but that's not true.
It's the flatness, isn't it? It's the weight and the density.
Yeah, because of the density of it, it's harder for them to warp, and they're really flat and beautiful, and it just means that the needle doesn't have to move as much, and it just creates a really nice sound.
So are you guys making any money from tonight's performance?
No, we are getting paid $0, but we've got a $90 bar tab for beers, and they're paying us in pizza.
So you covered Screaming Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You. Why did you just decide to cover that song?
Screaming Jay's song was one of those ones that was always kind of in the set. So we thought we'd record it. On the day that we actually recorded this latest record, we cut 7 songs live in about 6 hours, including setup and hack down. Jim was singing live with the band, all going down live. We had a bunch of friends playing percussion and singing with us as well.
Cool.
And that was just one of those last minute kind of additions of one of the songs we played live. So it was like, we'll include it on the record, and it turned out great. We feel. So we did the film clip for that.
Nice. Yeah,
and a good way to get the band out.
Yeah.
Screaming Jay is just one of our biggest influences. Like Seymour, the thing we were talking about before, Seymour. The reason I always wanted that, the friend of mine that had that, he'd had that for probably a decade, and I always was asking him for it because of Screaming Jay. He used to carry around a guy called Henry.
Okay.
It was a little skull on a stick that would smoke cigarettes. The stick was about this big. He'd just hold it and smoke cigarettes, and he'd put it on his piano and he'd play.
Ready?
Cool. Don't fuck with the curtains, but when that song finishes, like clockwork, we'll open it up.
Thanks, man. You've been really awesome, dude. Yeah, man.
Thank you so much, boys, and have a heap of fun.
I got you in my pocket, I got you in my hand. Our love is burned like the desert sand. That you better be in, oh, without a sin.
I didn't stop smiling through that whole set. I highly recommend you check this band out if you get a chance.